Hello, everyone. Today, Cornelia Anakriga, Valerie Philomen, Jennifer Ronland at Roland, Melvin Meshayap Anak Simong, and Nurit Sadi Binti Amit from Group 5 will be giving lessons about the importance of being earnest. In today's lesson, we will be teaching the content below. Author and background by Melvin. Overview of the novel by Jennifer. Plot summary by Cornelia. Themes by Valerie. And lastly, the main points by Sadi.
First, let's talk about the author and his background.
Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde was born on October 16, 1854 and died on November 30, 1900 at the age of 46. Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde was an Irish poet and playwright. After writing in different forms throughout the 1880s, he became one of the most popular playwrights in London in the early 1890s. He is best remembered for his epigrams and plays. His novel The Picture of Dorian Gray and the circumstances of his criminal conviction for gross indecency for consensual homosexual acts in one of the first celebrity trials, imprisonment and early death from meningitis at age 46. The Importance of Being Earnest, a trivial comedy for serious people, is a play by Oscar Wilde, first performed on February 14, 1895 at the St. James's Theatre in London. It is a farcical comedy in which the protagonists maintain fictitious personae to escape burdensome social obligations. Working within the social conventions of late Victorian London, the play's major themes are the triviality with which it treats institutions as serious as marriage and the resulting satire of Victorian ways. The Importance of Being Earnest has been revived many times since its premiere. It has been adapted for the cinema on 3 occasions, which are in a 1952 film. Edith Evans reprised her stage interpretation of Lady Bracknell. A 1992 version directed by Kurt Baker used an all-black cast, and Oliver Parker's 2002 film incorporated some of Wilde's original material cut during the preparation of the first stage production.
This paper links Oscar Wilde's play, The Importance of Being Earnest, to aestheticism, the movement to which Wilde belonged. It explores the idea of performance, specifically, how the main characters' personalities both change and remain unchanged within these performances. The first goal is to establish Algernon and Jack as opposite characters who are both artificial because they both put on a performance, or pretend to be earnest. It then aims to demonstrate that artificiality should be morally neutral because every human being is required to be artificial in life. After coming to this realization, we are able to disregard the characters' artificial natures and finally conclude that Jack is moral and Algernon is immoral solely on the basis of their personalities, rather than on any degree of artificiality they display.
Now, let's move the plot summary of the story. The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde is a story of 2 bachelors named Jack Worthing and Algie Moncrief, who create alter egos named Earnest to escape their tiresome lives. They attempt to win the hearts of 2 women who, conveniently, claim to only love man called Earnest. Jack Worthing created an imaginary bad brother named Earnest, so that he can escape his responsibilities of being a guardian for Cicely Cardew, while Algie Moncrief pretends to be Earnest in order to approach Cicely, Jack's ward.
Moving on to the themes. One of the themes is the pursuit of marriage. The pursuit of marriage is a driving force behind much of the play's action. For example, Jack pursues Gwendolyn's hand, while Algernon pursues Cicely. The next theme is caste, class, and character. For instance, during the Victorian era, wealth, family status, and moral character are vital. This can be seen when Lady Bracknell asked Jack about his finance, family relation, and his class. This literary text also talks about manners and sincerity. The Victorian society, they consider themselves as sincere and polite, yet they're still manipulative and cruel. Take, for example, Cicely behave herself when she finds out that Lady Bracknell is rich. Let's take a look at the characters and the importance of being earnest by Oscar Wilde. Jack Worthing is the play's protagonist. He's seemingly responsible and respectable young man. Jack is known as Earnest in London. Jack is in love with his friend Orannon's cousin, Gwendolyn Fairfax. The initials after his name indicate that he is a justice of the peace. Algernon Moncrief is the play's secondary hero. He is a charming, idle, decorative bachelor, nephew of Lady Bracknell, cousin of Gwendolyn Fairfax, and best friend of Jack Worthing. Gwendolyn Fairfax is Algernon's cousin and Lady Bracknell's daughter. She's in love with Jack, whom she knows as Earnest. She is sophisticated, intellectual, cosmopolitan, and utterly pretentious. She is fixated on the name Earnest and says she will not marry a man without that name. Lady Bracknell is Algernon's snobbish, mercenary, and domineering aunt and Gwendolyn's mother. She's married well, and her primary goal in life is to see her daughter do the same. She has a list of eligible young men and prepared interviews she gives for potential suitors. She also values ignorance.